Over the last 6 years, Marvel Comics had a revolution. No, this isn't the prequel to the Civil War storyline. In fact, this isn't a comic at all. This is a shift in the direction of the entire universe. Marvel has decided to incorporate a more diverse cast over the last 5 years, particularly in their Marvel Now movement. I believe that just one man can be attributed to this: Brian Michael Bendis. Before we get to Bendis, let's talk about the interesting nature of comics. Because it's literature, the characters don't have to age, so new heroes are an inherent disadvantage to fan favorites. Over the years, even if the original person isn't around, the mantle of a hero is carried on. Bruce Wayne has been replaced by Azrael, Steve Rogers has been replaced by Bucky, and Jay Garrick has been replaced by Barry Allen. A namesake is the most important feature in determining character success. It's true that brand new characters can become popular, but it makes more sense for companies to invest all their assets into assured properties. Alright, back to Bendis. When Brian Michael Bendis introduced Miles Morales into Ultimate Fallout 4, it was the start of something different. Bendis was in charge of Spider-Man in Earth 1610, more commonly referred to as the Ultimate Universe. Peter Parker had just passed away in the comics. Rather than just bringing him back, Bendis created a new character to take up the Spider-Man mantle: half black, half Latino Miles Morales. Morales was a well-written character and enjoyable, but so was Peter Parker. What set Morales apart from Parker and all the other heroes was his personal issues. Both Miles' father and uncle were criminals and served in jail together. While his father was reformed, his uncle was not. Miles contemplates who he is, wondering if being a criminal is defined in his DNA, making him really think about whether he'll be good or bad, especially with his newfound abilities. Miles Morales becomes a character for all people of color to look to and admire. Young black children who previously lacked a hero began to aspire to be like Miles. Brian Michael Bendis is a father of four, two of whom being of children of color. In an interview with the New York Daily News, Bendis described a time when he was at a Target with his black daughter, who for the first time put on a superhero mask and said, "Look, Daddy, I'm Spider-Man." The mask she put on was that of Miles Morales. So yes, these heroes are great to the disenfranchised, who finally get heroes they can relate to. Miles Morales became increasingly successful, so much so that he became the main Spider-Man after Secret Wars and is already a fan favorite. The financial success of this character leads us to Marvel Now. This is where you're going to have to follow my train of logic. The purpose of these comic books, above all else, is to make profits. Marvel executives looked at the success of Miles Morales and saw an untapped goldmine of relatability. They could put new diverse characters in pre-existing heroes and make quick and easy profits. Over the course of Marvel Now, they introduced Kamala Khan as Ms. Marvel, Sam Wilson as Captain America, Robbie Reyes as Ghost Rider, Jane Foster as Thor, Laura Kinney as Wolverine, and so on. And this worked, at least for a bit. With all their different events and new characters, Marvel's kicking DC's ass every month. This led DC to try out some radical changes to their own universe in the form of Convergence and DCU, before eventually canning it in favor of Rebirth. I would say that this is a shift presented in Marvel Now is extremely similar to that of the shift during the Silver Age of comics. The beginning of comics in the Gold Age showed powerful yet one-dimensional heroes in Superman, Captain America, and Shazam. The Silver Age had heroes that dealt with real issues. Spider-Man was a broke college kid who also had to deal with responsibilities and protecting his loved ones. The X-Men were created to represent the civil rights movement, characters that are discriminated in society for being different. Bruce Banner had issues regarding his green counterpart. Silver Age comic books can be categorized as comics that shows heroes dealing with problems. This newfound relatability made these heroes extremely successful. Readers liked knowing that even Spider-Man has money problems, or the Flash had girl problems too. In Marvel Now, new and different issues were being touched upon with these diverse characters, which certain readers were able to relate to. While these characters were successful at first, they were doomed from the start. Fans of the OG cast, like Steve Rogers and Tony Stark, were opposed to the change from the beginning, and even those who supported the new characters wanted to see the old ones in some capacity. In addition to this, overall, the heroes lacked a purpose. When Brian Michael Bendis created Miles Morales, he had a purpose. He had stories that no one had told yet. Some of the other titles in Marvel Now sought this very same goal. Jane Foster and Sam Wilson both dealt with issues that hadn't been tackled before and had a purpose. Jane Foster was the first hero with breast cancer, and Sam Wilson had to deal with people opposed to a black man as a symbol of American patriotism. But Marvel pushed diversity everywhere in search of a quick buck and lost that purpose. I still don't understand why Riri Williams is Iron Man. That takes us to where we are today, with Marvel Vice President David Gabriel saying, and I quote, "What we heard was that people didn't want any more diversity. I don't know that that's true, but that's what we saw in the sales." Once again, this reinforces my belief that Marvel analyzes their comics purely on economics. Now they blame it on diversity instead of shitty management decisions. The man I feel worst for is Brian Michael Bendis. He was making a difference with his comics, giving minorities a hero to call their own, and now his own company has declared war on his movement. But these are just my controversial opinions. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe. More nerdy content like this will be coming out in the future.